Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak to you. I am so excited to be here. And I'm really glad that you took this opportunity to invest in yourself and gave me the opportunity to share with you. My name is Nicole Sment, and like a lot of you, I too am an executive assistant. I have been for almost 20 years now, and I still really love what we do. And I think that's why I chose this topic to talk about today. You see, I think that there is a problem that plagues our entire profession. I think that it harms us physically, mentally, and emotionally. And I also believe that together we can turn it around for the better. You see, the moment that I became painfully aware of this issue, I was online and I was reading a post by my friend Judy. Judy also happens to be an executive assistant and she is top notch at what she does. But Judy had made a pretty sizable error at work. However, that wasn't what Judy was focused on. Judy was looking at how this problem had hurt her, how it had affected her. She said things like, I just don't think I can do it anymore. And I feel like a failure. And I'm broken. Well, once I made sure that Judy was going to be okay, I started to think about this problem and how it affects each and every one of us every single day. I call it the superhero platform. Now, I have absolutely no doubt that you are awesome at what you do. I'm sure that you excel at it. And I'm pretty sure that you've probably received some kudos to back that up. Some of you have probably even received a title or two, like rock star or superhero. But the truth is, we're not superheroes, nor are we glue or gurus. We're not magicians, not even ninjas. We are simply human. Now, I know that that is not going to be a popular statement, but hear me out because you deserve better. I know that you deserve your kudos. I know that you are excellent at what you do, and I know that your colleagues would spend their day shaking in their boots if they had to sub in for your role. As executive assistants, we are passionate, profoundly passionate about what we do. And let's face it, you know how to make things look seamless. But my friends, that is not magic. That is hard work. And it deserves to be recognized. And there, right there, is the problem. These unrealistic kudos that we get, these unreal nicknames, they're not supposed to be malicious. They're supposed to raise us up. They're supposed to give us confidence. They're supposed to make us feel really good about what we do. And that, in and of itself, is truly honorable. However, when something goes wrong, and we all know that something will go wrong, if we can't fix it, we find ourselves toppling off of that superhero platform that we've been placed upon. And in doing so, we disappoint ourselves. We disappoint those we support. Once I saw this in play, I couldn't unsee it. I watched it work as over and over and over again, executive support staff would receive kudos. And every single time, there was some sort of superhero platform attached. The kudos came from executive staff, from mid-level management. They even came from one assistant to another assistant. It happened in person. It happened online. It even happens in the marketplace. You'll see it on mugs, on notebooks, on lapel pins. It is everywhere. Unfortunately, that means the topple off of the superhero platform is as well. And when we tumble, we can lose faith in ourselves. We can lose faith in our own abilities. We can lose faith in our work. And even worse than that, we start to actually begin defining ourselves as less than, as a failure, as unworthy. And my friends, we are not one of those things. We are strategic partners who add value to the people that we support and the organizations we work in. We are highly skilled, proven professionals who exceed the highest of expectations time and time again. And we do not need to consent to silly nicknames as an acceptable form of recognition. I started to watch how executives would compliment each other, how they recognized each other professionally when somebody had done a good job. It's usually a pat on the shoulder when leaving a meeting or a firm handshake with the words "good job." I once even watched an exchange between two executives as they were finishing up a check-in meeting. As Executive A was making their way towards the door, Executive B spoke up and said, "I think that we can be really proud of where we're at. Thank you for making sure that we stayed on the right track. Please make sure that you are at the next leadership meeting." I sat there, dumbfounded, and a little excited, because all I could think was, it's a code. It's a code, and it can be cracked. You see, a nickname is not a promotion. A nickname is not a raise. A nickname is not even a heartfelt thank you. At best, a nickname is an attaboy, and that's all it is. Please make sure you come to the next leadership meeting, however, is more than just an invitation. It is the recognition of a valued contributor. So today, I am going to challenge you. Let's stop. Let's stop accepting fun and funky nicknames as an acceptable form of acknowledgement of our hard work. Let's stop pushing these names out onto each other. And let's refuse to be placed upon yet another superhero platform constructed out of false flattery. That is not an acceptable form of recognition. Because hard work, your hard work, it should be professionally recognized. At the very least, with an authentic thank you. But preferably, with a seat at the table of any meeting that you need to be at. Now, I'm not suggesting that come Monday morning, you gather all of the executive support staff at your organization and stage some sort of nickname coup. No. This this call to action, this isn't about sticking it to the powers that be. This is bigger than that. This is about you. It's about me. It's about any one of us who hold and perform in this role. It's about acknowledging your own professional value. It is about acknowledging your own professional contributions. And it is about not settling for anything other than the recognition that is worthy of what you have accomplished and what you have given. It is wonderful when that happens organically. But I think we probably all know that doesn't happen very often. So we need to prepare. We need to prepare to have a conversation with your executive the way any other executive would. And that means stepping down from your superhero platform voluntarily. I know. It sounds scary. It sounds awkward. And it sounds a whole heck of a lot less appreciative. Do it anyway. Because if you want to be seen as a strategic partner, you have to act like a strategic partner. And I am willing to go out on a limb here and take a guess that none of the strategic partners in your organization are on top of a superhero platform. So next, you need to prepare to identify how and where you can be of a greater value to those you serve and to the organization. You need to also know what you need in order to be able to provide that greater value. Be prepared to answer questions and address concerns about what your current responsibilities are, what your future responsibilities will be, and how those two might intersect. Be prepared to hear the answer yes. It's not always easy to hear and accept the answer yes. Be prepared to do so. Also be prepared to hear the answer no. Hearing the answer no does not mean that you are a failure. It does not mean you aren't good enough. What it means is you aren't ready. But don't stop there. Once you hear the answer no, ask why. Ask strategic questions to find out what is holding you or your executive back from allowing you to be in that meeting, to be at that table, to be a part of what you need to be a part of. Be prepared to hear their feedback and to use it so that you can grow. Be prepared to pivot and be resilient and to always keep moving forward. And then, the next time you save the day and your boss calls you a superhero, graciously thank them for recognizing you as a strategic partner. And let them know that you appreciate that. And you would also appreciate being able to be at the next cabinet meeting or quarterly call or any other table that you need to be at. Let's aim higher. Because after all, we all know that is exactly what a superhero would do. Thank you so much for allowing me this opportunity. I have really enjoyed our time together. I hope that you'll keep in touch and you will be able to see my contact information down below. Have a great day, everybody.